Hello and welcome to day 98 in this quest for a 2000 rapid rating on chess.com. So let's find an opponent here. We want a 15-minute game with 10-second increments. All right. Well, here we go. So we have the white pieces. All right. So I've been playing e4, so I mentioned this before. Once I get to game 101, I'll probably switch to d4 and then do some different opening for black, the Caro-Kann against e4. And I'll just go from there. So here we've been playing I've been playing the Italian game mostly this whole time. So I don't know, I'll switch it up today. Just so you can see something different. I hope you all haven't been getting too bored. All right. Let's see what they decide to do here. That is interesting. He's trying to trap my bishop in. Trap my bishop. Well, we'll just do that to put a stop to any of that business. Oh, and now he's attacking me that way. All right, well, that's interesting. We'll go there. And see what he decides to do. And then we have a d3 move to chase his queen, although, he could threaten to bring his bishop up here and cause problems, or he could just go here. All right, well, we probably should go ahead and pick that off. Do we go after it with, we'll go this way. We'll open his king up. But now we're threatened, now we can bring the rook over and attack. Okay, so he does that. Threatening a mate here. So we can just bring our bishop up. Well, here's something that we could try as well. We could check him, then bring our bishop here. Or we could just develop our queen over. If we develop our queen, then, well, we might as well check him first. I don't know. He could bring his knight over. We could check him this way. No, because his queen is there. All right, so he's threatening this mate. Well, probably best is to just bring our queen out. But then he could castle. Let's see. All right, we'll think about this. If we go here, he could block with maybe a bishop or a knight. Probably I don't know, maybe the bishop. So All right. So if we check him with the rook, he's going to block. So we have to see what piece he's going to block with. If he brings the bishop out, then his knight could go here and maybe cause problems. All right, all right. Well, we'll just do that. We'll check him. Okay, so he decides to block there. Then we'll bring our queen up, threaten to attack his bishop. Now his bishop is under attack. But he could counterattack us. That could be an issue. Now, if he attacks with his bishop, oh, he goes that way. Well, that's interesting. All right, now we can just play this move and attack his queen. So we'll just attack his queen now. And where does he go with his queen next? All right. Well, now should we attack his queen here? Or we fork these two pawns. Well, we could just check him. We could check him. But then he could block. All right. Or, well, if we attack, he can just... Oh, he can't move that. Okay. He cannot move that. All right. So let's take a look here. There's a lot going on. We want to get this knight out, probably, and our bishop. So how can we take advantage of this pinned bishop here? We could attack. His pawn would have to... Well, no, his queen could recapture. All right, if his queen captured, then we could attack. We could attack the queen. But then he could go after this. So maybe we need to develop our knight. His next move is probably going to be to just develop his knight and attack here. If we check, he blocks, we capture his queen. Oh, he can't. His queen can't capture. The pawn would have to capture. So, all right, let's take a look at this. Oh, and our queen's going there. So, oh, he'll just block. All right. So do we go here and check him? He could just block with his bishop. But if he does that, we'll pull his king out into the center. So why not? Why not? So we will check him. All right, so he's being checked. If he blocks with his bishop, well then we just go ahead and take, and then his king is stuck in the center. All right, what now? What now? I mean, what are his options? If you're in check, you have three things you can do. Capture the attacker, which he can't do that. Block or run. So if he blocks with the pawn, we get rid of our doubled pawn, capturing. And then if he captures, we go after him again. All right. Well, that got rid of the pin on his bishop, so that kind of helped him out. Now, do we go after this? All right. Well, we should bring the knight up, or, out. Bring this knight out. Bring the knight out. And then what? All right. We're bringing the knight out. Bringing the knight out. Man, and I wonder if it would have been a better move to bring my queen down here, and threaten to pick this off if he develops his knight. And where should we go? All right. Yeah, I should have probably put the queen down here to keep him from being able to develop his knight. All right. Well, what is the best path forward now? Develop or move this knight again? probably move this knight up here again. Just move the knight again. And then, he'll either take it. Oh, he could go, just go after this pawn here. But I don't know. If he clears that pawn out of there, it might actually help me a little bit. Well, I don't know. Then he could move this pawn and attack my bishop. All right. Well. We'll go ahead and attack. All right. Now what? Now what? Do we just go here? No. Do we go here? Do we swing over to the other side? Do we line up on his king? Or do we just go here? All right, we'll just do that. And then if his bishop tries to block, we'll just, well, I guess we're going there. We're going there. So, if he attacks, we have a couple options. I mean, well, we'll probably just develop our bishop. Then if he captures, we just recapture. What else here? What else do we have? And if he moves this bishop, we could just capture his queen. All right, well, we need to develop this. But one issue is if he comes over here attacking our bishop, then what do we do? What do we do after that? Okay, so he's going to try that. Well, that's interesting. Okay, now, do we go here? That way we can capture that. Or do we just go here and grab space? All right, we'll go there. We'll attack. We will attack. All right. Well, that is interesting. Do we pull his king down into the center there? Probably we're ahead by a pawn. The queens are still on the board. Or do we keep, we're ahead in material. Let's pull his king further into the center. And I don't know, maybe I should have, probably should have taken his queen first. Yeah, that would have been better. I moved too fast. I should have taken his queen first. And then, all right, so do I keep them on the board? That's the question. Let's see. Might as well trade off. Then we can put our pawns on the light squares, go after this right here. All right, if we push forward, probably need to put this bishop here. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that bishop there. We're going to go over here, pile up on this pawn with our bishop and our rooks. All right, well now that kind of helped him out. We might as well maybe we leave that there. We should probably go after this. All right. Anyway, we'll go there. We'll get off of that square. Put our bishop over here. Probably should have pushed this pawn up. But I don't know. Then his bishop could land in here. But is that so bad? Do we just go here? All right. Well, oh, wait, that's a threat. That's a threat to our... All right, we're going there. We're going right there. Okay. Then we're going, well, hold on. We'll go there. We probably should have pushed that pawn up, which we need to do that next. Unless he just already pushes forward. Okay, he decided not to do that. So we'll go there. Now, do we go here and target this? All right, now do we block that? Might as well. Might as well block it. All right. Okay, do we push the king back? That's the question now. And we probably, well, I don't know, his king could just jump right in here. Okay. Do we attack his king? Then his king could jump down in here. Do we just go here? All right. Now, was that a mistake? Was that a mistake? That is the question. We'll just go there. All right. Well, I don't know about this. I mean, at least this way I go ahead in material, but he's got this bishop. That can just, go right in here and guard everything. I mean, I guess I could take it out. And then have a passed pawn. All right. Well. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? He wants to go 1, 2, 3 and attack these. I mean, I might as well just bring my king over. His king can't go anywhere. We'll just do that. Probably should have immediately gone here. Okay. Well, I have to attack that. And then I should go after that. Hmm. 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 All right. Well, I should cut his king off. Or do I go after the pawn? Do I go after the pawn? Okay. Well, should go there. We'll go right there. Block his king off. And so these pawns will be safe. And then should go here. All right. Then I can just push forward like that. Right, we go that way. Go after that. All right. What now? Do I go there? We'll go there. All right, now we're winning. He just made a blunder there. A blunder. We'll just go after this pawn, then we can go after the other one. All right, well, we got a win there. Man, I mowed grass today, so I was a little bit tired. And, so I apologize if I wasn't, if my commentary, if I didn't have enough for you. So, leave comments and let me know if you need more commentary. We did have a person recommend that I talk about what their moves are in different openings. But that's harder to do when I'm actually playing. If I do an instructional video, that might be easier to pull games from the greatest chess players and mention them. All right, so we have a win. And let's do a quick game review. See what was happening there. Ooh, so it looks like I got a lead and held it, but I almost gave it up at one point where the game was even actually. And then we gained the lead back again and kept it. All right, so they had a blunder, no brilliant or great moves. I had 9 inaccuracies, oh my gosh, versus their 4. 6 mistakes, they had 6. 3 misses and 1 blunder. So there was just a lot going on. He tried to get this attack going on my king side over here, but maybe overpressed, and then I just ended up having a pawn, and I could trade down and use that pawn advantage in the end game. All right, so it says way to finish off the game, accurately converting your end game advantage into a win. So start the review. This was the Ruy Lopez opening, and they did the birds defense, it looks like, where if you look at this, so normally they'll play a6, chasing your bishop back, or you could capture the knight if you want, but usually people retreat and keep their light squared bishop. Also, they could just play knight to f6 here. The Berlin defense, which is supposed to be pretty solid, but they played this bird's defense where they jump this forward, attacking your bishop here immediately. So I believe the best move is to capture this, because then they end up with doubled pawns. So you capture, their pawns are doubled here, and this pawn can potentially become a weakness, which I don't know. I didn't get around to attacking it in the game, but sometimes you can push up to d4 here, then jump your knight here and target this. Or you could jump here, maybe swing back, but a lot of times they'll push this pawn up maybe to protect it. Anyway, what did we have next here? Oh man, it just blasted through these moves like crazy. So let me back this up a little bit, because there were some inaccuracies left and right here. A lot of them. Okay, so, oh my gosh. All right, so they pushed out this a pawn to a5, gaining space on the queen side, and I think there was a little trap here. He's threatening, maybe c6, and if I go back to a4, well then he can push b5, and send me here, and then try and trap me. But if he goes there, you could go the other way. You could move this way. But then once again, he could target you, and then where do you go? So I just immediately played that move, which it says this is good, but there was a better option. But this is not bad. So we'll have to take a look at that, see what that is. All right, we'll look at that in the analysis. I'll try and speed this little game review up. So here, computer says that is a mistake. This ignores an opportunity to kick a bishop. So they wanted c6 here to kick this bishop back. So then, if I go here, well then he could push the b pawn, attack me again. I could escape down in here to a2. So it didn't like this early queen move. But this is targeting my bishop as well. So we move to the best spot here, trying to control this d5 square along with the pawn, and we're aiming at the weak f pawn, this f7 square that's only protected by the king. So we could bring our queen up here and try and attack this, but he could block that maybe with the knight. Something like that. What do we have next? So they attack there. Now, it says the bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. So it says that's good, but white is ahead plus 1.4 now. And if we capture here on e5 with the pawn, that opens up the e file directly on the king. So I believe that's what I did there. Because if we captured with the bishop, you know, there's threats of chasing the bishop here. What else do we have going on? Oh, so it didn't like that. It said that's an inaccuracy. All right. So I guess the bishop capture was better. So definitely I'll take a look at that in the analysis. Okay, and it did not like this move, a mistake. This overlooks a better way to develop a bishop off its starting square. So I don't know, maybe they wanted this bishop moved here to block an attack on the e file. So something else to take a look at. So we attack, that's excellent, but apparently there might have been a better move. Maybe bring the queen up here immediately and threaten an attack. We're not threatening because of this pawn. Okay. Well, let's blast through some more moves here. And I'll take a deeper look at this in the analysis where we can see exactly what's going on. Oh, it didn't like that knight move. All right, what would have been best here? You know, I was looking at this move thinking if I do that, I could target this and attack this rook. Then where does the rook go? The rook would have to go here. Oh, and then I could attack it with the bishop here. So that would have been a good way to go, but it was kind of hard to tell if I should do that because he had his queen lined up on my king, his bishops, and his knight. So d6, man, that would have been a winning advantage right there. All right. So next we have, oh, this is a mistake. I missed an opportunity to defend a bishop that was under attack. So best would have been what? Moving here. All right. Because then if he captures me, it just pulls my queen up, and then I'm targeting this pawn. All right. Okay, so we just trade off here and go into an endgame. Capturing this pawn is not good. Would have been better to develop. All right, so here I guess we could, maybe push this, target that. Well, we're just connecting our rooks. That's one of the main things here. All right, it doesn't like that because he can just protect it. So why, that's kind of a wasted move there with that rook. So best would have been to do that immediately, yes, because in the game I mentioned this, he could have pushed that pawn forward and then kept my pawns on the dark squares where the bishop could target them. All right. Another move it didn't like. So best would have been to push that. Oh, yes, because he can't go there. Oh, man. All right, yep. So I overlooked that. Now it does not like that move. Best would have been bringing my king up to keep his king out. Oh, was there a blunder there? Yeah, it was a blunder to capture. He should have, captured this way, captured my rook. Then if I captured, then he captures, and my rook would be here. Oh, then he could threaten something like bringing his king in here. Well, first bring his rook over and take control of the d file, and then if his king gets into here, he could threaten a mate. All right. Well, that was his blunder, and we go ahead a little more in material there, but we traded off probably too many pawns. Okay, so at this point, we're winning. Well, anyway, we'll take a look at the analysis and dig a little bit deeper into this. So here, yeah. All right, so it looks like, yeah, there's too many inaccuracies and mistakes in that game on both sides. I played at a 1650 level and they played at 1350. It says you really outplayed your opponent in that one. You took advantage of the opportunities you saw in the opening. The middle game battle was fairly even. You exploited your opponent's mistakes in the end game. So 98.5 opening versus their 89.8. And then 55.4 versus 56. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we both could have played better in that middle game. And the end game, 84.3 versus their 55. So I get the impression, so this person is a 1700 player. I'm thinking that they, get a good attack in the opening and win a lot of games that way, and then they don't have as many difficult middle games and end games because, we both had trouble in the middle game, but their end game play was, pretty rough as well. All right, analysis. Let's take a look here. All right, so e4, e5, common opening. Knight to f3 attacking, they defend, and the Ruy Lopez here. This is supposed to be one of the best openings, if not the best opening for white when you play e4, e5. If you get this Ruy Lopez, but it's pretty complicated. There's a lot of theory in the Ruy Lopez that can go, 20 moves or more deep, maybe 30 in some variations. It's crazy. So they play the bird's defense. So that's a little different. It says here by the computer, the best move is to capture. Now, I had a viewer mention that I should talk about what experts recommend in these openings, but I would have to say that probably all of the maybe all of the chess masters these days use Stockfish, which is the computer that I'm using now, the chess calculation computer here, or analyzer or whatever. It's Stockfish 16. So this computer, it'll find all the tactics and combinations, or most of them, depending how deep they are, but probably even the deep ones. Computers are good at finding combinations and tactics. They have a little more problems with strategy, long-term plans. So that's where expert advice would come in, when it comes to long-term plans. But we're in book openings now, so these book moves are what the experts play. That's why they're in an opening book. And so here, the best thing to do is capture the knight. And so this is a book move. And then, of course, they're going to recapture. And now the computer recommends castling first. So once again, a book move. And now the recommendation is bishop to c5. And it looks like a5 is the number 2 move. So is that a book move? Well, now, it could be in a deeper opening book than what this computer has installed in it. But it said that bishop to c5 was the most common move, or a more common move. So bishop to c5 is best. And if we go back and look at that, bishop to c5, then it recommends if they play bishop to c5, I should drop down here to c4 and target the f pawn, and also be able to cover d5 as well. All right, so in the game they play that, a5. The computer recommends an immediate a4, which would keep the space equal on the queen side. So that, or bishop to c4. So I played neither one. It looks like a5 would be a good move because you just grab a bunch of space here. You can move here. Now, if they try and attack you with B or C6 and B5, you could capture. So A4 would have been a better move here. Let's see, A4. That would have been best. And then now, if they play this, C6, which computer likes, then you can go to C4 once again. And so now, if they push to D5, you capture. And then if they recapture, they'll be left with doubled pawns. You could swing back up here and check. So instead of that, it recommends, and also if they play B5, you can just capture, and then, if they recapture, you capture and go up a pawn. So knight to F6 is recommended here, attacking your unprotected pawn. And then you should just play D3 to protect that pawn, and then your bishop will be able to come out. And also you'll have room to maneuver your knight out, either to F3, or maybe even over here and target the D4 pawn. All right, so in the game we had this queen move, queen to G5, a mistake. So what should have been played here? It looks like that move is what they want. Then we would go to C4, and now they recommend either D6, knight to F6. Black needs to develop and get this king castled over here on the king side. So queen to G5 is played. We played bishop to C4, which the computer likes best. And now bishop to C5 is recommended, which protects the pawn, develops a piece, and also lines up on the king. And you're getting ready to castle. You just develop your knight and get that king to safety. All right, so D5 was played here. So it looks like E takes D5. All right. Or sorry, bishop takes D5 is best, or D3 attacking the queen, and third best was, well, maybe these two are tied for first, but capturing is not the best way to go. So let's see what we did and what they like. They like D3 better, which D3 does immediately attack this queen with your bishop. So yeah, that would have been a good move. And then now they recommend H4, because you'll be able to develop this bishop and threaten a mate down here. And then what? You would probably have to block with the G pawn and then leave these weaknesses around your king. The light squares would become weak. So now it recommends capture. Oh, well, you could just go here as well. So knight to F6, attacking, and bishop back to C4 here. Okay, and then finally you would have this D6 move, bishop to D6, threatening a mate here. Computer actually likes F4 the best, so yeah, that's even better. F4, because now you're threatening to fork the knight and the bishop here. So when you're playing in your chess games, it's often a good idea to find moves that do multiple things. So this move, of course, blocks the mate threat, but it also sets up a possible push of the e-pawn to fork these two pieces. And it gives your rook maybe an opportunity to reposition up to f3 and then come over here and target the king side once the king castles over here. Or you could even just bring your queen up here and have it backed up by the rook. All right, so f4, and then they recommend bishop to g4, attacking our queen. But now, queen to d2. Queen to d2. I would have thought queen to e1, targeting their queen maybe, but queen to e2 avoids the queen trade. You line up on the king, and you still have this threat here. Now they're saying it would have been better for the knight to jump down here, and then you have another mate threat. Okay, anyway, back to the game before I dig too deep in all the variations. So we captured the wrong way there. They move here. This is a mistake, but they're threatening a mate. So what do we do here? Bishop to d6 would have been better. Lining up over here on the h-pawn, and then you should play d3, attacking the queen. Then the queen would move over here, once again, attacking the h-pawn, threatening a mate. All right, so we have this. Now, they want an immediate queen move over there instead. So if we would have done that, this rook move is still okay, but the computer likes queen to f3, just immediately attacking here. All right, but we played rook d1, checking the king. He blocks. Now we play queen to f3, attacking the bishop. I thought he was maybe just going to go right here, but maybe he didn't want me moving and pinning his queen. So that is an inaccuracy. Well, okay, they wanted him to do that move. And then we should play... Yes, this. In the game, I mentioned this, that I should have lined up here. Then the knight cannot move here or we pick off his bishop. But at this point, he could just castle queenside, possibly. All right, so bishop to d7 is what it recommends here. Bishop up to d7. All right, bishop up to d7. Okay, back to the game. We had bishop to f5, so we push. Oh, now that's an inaccuracy. It doesn't like that. So it wants this immediate attack here. They capture, queen captures over here, and then rook to d8. Now, what do we have? Now d3, attacking the queen. The queen should go to g4, where it can create a battery and maybe chase our queen away. All right, bishop to d2 is next, just developing there. All right, so in the game, we play d3, the queen's under attack, the queen retreats, although it looks like it should have come forward instead. So if the queen came forward, we should ignore that, just develop our knight. That way, if our queen is captured, we just recapture with the knight, and the knight is pulled up into a better square. So they kind of help our development. So in the game, they retreated back. And at this point, we're just ahead. The computer's saying we pretty much have a winning advantage, +4 here. Only if we play D6, which we did not. We played that, and that was an inaccuracy. D6 would have been better. So, once again, D6, they would capture, we capture, rook to D8, and knight up to D2. And then what? H6? Or, well, now saying D5, attacking here. Okay, B5 check. The king moves, but that is a mistake. King to F8 would have been better. So king to F8 would have been a better move. Now we have what? Bishop up to F4, targeting this pawn. You know, and we can take control of this diagonal. So that's another reason that would be a good move. Bishop up to F4 like this. And now the computer also likes H3, which, I don't know, I mean, I guess it prevents the bishop from going to G4 and attacking our queen. So in the game, the king went the other way to D8, and then we play knight to D2. That's an inaccuracy. Once again, it wanted us to push that pawn and then capture this one. They developed the knight. That's an inaccuracy. Better would have been bishop to G4, attacking our queen. And we make a mistake here. So once again, it wanted that move. But now the bishop can go ahead and capture. We capture. And, bishop to C8. They let us take their rook. I don't know. I think they would just... Oh, the rook is kind of a goner. Oh, man. You know, if the rook goes here, I don't know. That seems like that would be a little bit better. Now, knight up to C4 attacking here. So, yeah, we just have all these pieces swarming around the king that's stuck in the center, and it looks pretty bad. Okay, so knight to E4. They trade off, although it would have been better instead to go after this pawn, which is kind of what I thought they would do. And then we should play bishop up to G5 here, it looks like. Bishop to G5. You know, and then if they capture, we capture, queen captures, and then we can pick this one off with a check. Oh, and then, well, no, he has this covering. All right, so we have a capture. We capture. Attack on the queen. It looks like it would have been better to go after this pawn. So we should have gone this way, attacking the pawn. They could play H5, just start marching down here. Or bishop to D6, lining up on the H pawn. So in the game, queen to G3. Looks like a retreat would have been better. So we attack, and now they retreat. So here, well, it worked out anyway. I probably should have captured the queen first, although it says queen to D3 would have been better. So the best move would have been that. That way, if they capture, but looks like, okay, it looks like it should be best for them to capture. Then we capture, and we kind of helped our queen move up here, and it's attacking a pawn. And then queen over to B6 to block that. And then we could swing back here if we want to avoid queen trades. All right, which if you have your opponent's king stuck in the center and yours is off to the side, you should probably keep your queen because you can use that as a valuable attacking piece with their king stuck in the middle. All right, so they should have captured. Yeah, I noticed that. They should have captured, and doubled my pawns, but instead I did that to them, and the computer, that was a mistake or an inaccuracy. I should have kept the queen. I target this, but I keep my queen so I can use it to attack his king. That would have been a better move. Then I could maybe go over here and target him. So in the game, we capture, they double their pawns. It would have been better to immediately develop our bishop. So, oh wait, what was that move? That was not good. Capturing en passant was bad. So instead, what do they want? E5. Yeah, that would have taken a lot of space. You have both these pawns in the center with E5. So E5, then what? Rook at H to F8. All right, back to the game. Well, what is that? Oh, it just tells you what en passant is. Okay, so we captured en passant. They recapture. We line up on the pawn, which that was a mistake. A4 immediately would have been better to keep this pawn from pushing and breaking our pawns up or pushing us forward. All right, so rook to D1. They had a missed opportunity here. Immediate king to E6. Getting that king activated in the endgame is always smart. So there we should play this move once again. So in the game now, they recommend immediately pushing this and attacking. All right, let's look at that. They want this because it's pinned. They would have to protect. Then we start attacking. Oh, yeah, that would have been a better way to go about targeting those pawns. Rook at H to D8. So now we capture. They capture. Bishop captures. And the king moves away here. So then we should just trade down more material. This kind of fixes, repairs his pawn problem, but we have 2 extra pawns. And now they're saying we should have captured here first. All right, in the game, bishop to B2. Okay, so doesn't like that move. Instead, C3 would have been better. Yeah, I forgot that was pinned. That would have been a better move. And then, if they push forward, well, then we just capture. Although it likes E5 even better. Huh. All right. Anyway, in the game, I just made it more complicated than it should have been. Rook to B1 would have been better. So they don't like that move. They want the king to stay up here. Although, yeah, he's coming down here. You have to activate your king in the end game, so that move doesn't seem too bad. Oh, and so this was a mistake. I should not have done that. King up to F2 would have been better to keep his king out of my position. And then G4. Here, this is interesting. They're recommending G3, knocking that king out of there. So is that best? G3. Oh, nope. Now it's saying not to do that, to go ahead and capture. H takes G4. And now push the king away. So once the king goes back, where to G5, they don't even recommend pushing that pawn further. I would think that you would push the pawn even more. They want you to push this pawn to E5. Why? Why does that work? Okay, now they don't like that. Yeah, so now the recommendation is that, saying that's best. You're controlling all these squares and pushing the king back. And then you can put your rooks over here and start trying to control this open file. Although they can do a good job of fighting it by countering over here on H8. All right, so in the game, C3, Didn't like that. We start trading off. That was a mistake. They should have captured here first. Then we capture. Now they should capture. And once we capture, we're targeting this pawn. So I guess he would have to defend, or he could push the g4 pawn and start attacking. But I would think he would just protect here. Now the computer's saying that's best. And then our king can go up to f2 and keep his king out and get ready to push him away. Oh, they like h4. Yeah, that kind of locks things. Now we can't push that pawn. Well, I guess we could and leave him with tripled pawns. So, in the game, the blunder, which allowed us to capture up here. Capture. Now we're ahead material. But I thought he was just going to put his bishop here on b4 and just keep these protected. And then, yeah, try and run his king over. Well, you know, he could push these, trade off some pawns, because when you're behind in material, you want to trade off pawns. I'm ahead in material. I want to avoid pawn trades. And, well, I don't know. We're down to the last few pieces. I thought about even trading his bishop off over here and then trying to push this pawn forward. So here, what is best? Rook to d5. Okay. So I looked at that in the game, but you know, not good enough. I should have immediately gone here, targeted his pawns. And this is a good job, trading off his pawns. Capture, capture. All right, it wanted me to retreat over here, swing over here, maybe go after this. Okay, that was a mistake. What should he have done there? Better would have been bishop to c5. Yeah, in the game, I thought he might do that. Just protect there. You know, and then what do? I move to f3 to protect my pawn, I guess. But it wants me to bring my king up. All right, so that was a mistake. He attacks. And then, I don't know, it says I should have gone back further. But, yeah, then he just gives up his bishop there. So I don't know what happened. What should he have done? Instead of that king move like that, he should have played, bishop to a1 to guard this. And then we should play rook to c2. All right, anyway, in the game, yeah, once he gave up his bishop, it was done. And the game ended with that. All right, well, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for those that haven't already. Feel free to leave comments with questions, concerns, anything you want. Thank you for watching and have a super chess day.